people will be calling for as far as that bottom lane is concerned. Is now Canna, what are we going to be picking up? The Ryze, the Orianna, both of them unavailable, but the Anivia that was banned in the last game, I guess, is theoretically an option, but less intriguing when the Ryze has been banned. Still taking a while to figure out exactly what to lock in, as finally it will be that Seraphine. So we are looking at the Ashe Seraphine option. What we have seen is the responsive Ashe Lulu to deny it, but I don't know whether that's where TL want to go.
Yeah, it's interesting because there have been so many different types of responses. You know, the Ezreal Karma is kind of the tried and true old, like super good in lane, poke them out, have lots of pressure as well. So we'll see what direction they decide to go.
Yeah, they've also been happy, and like Caliste used to be a big Senna player, so can also fall back to like Senna Seraphine if you really want to in that regard. But we'll have to see, as it is going to be the Lee Sin. So do they try and take away the Ashe? But I mean, you're going to be very happy about a Lee Sin for Josedeodo. He's kind of popped off on that Kobe.
He's got a bit of comfort.
You guys heard about that? You heard about that?
Yeah, you wouldn't shut up about it, to be honest.
It was doing pretty good on this champ. Yeah, let's see what they decide to go with into the Ashe Seraphine, because you can go kill lanes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it looks like
this has been a favorite that we've witnessed, is like Mel Pike into the Ashe Seraphine as a bit of a kill option.
Yeah, but I just double-checked. He hasn't won on it. Which makes me happy.
Yeah, that was the warm-up one, you know.
Yeah.
That was the training episode.
Oh, there's the Rumble. I really love it. Like, Encore and the Equalizer is a lot of powers. There's Ezreal Seraphine.
So people do Ezreal Seraphine as like the backup usually when they don't have the Ashe.
Yeah, when the Ashe has been banned.
I think it's because of Mel. They like, you need the extra safety. You know, they can't have too many vulnerable, no mobility targets.
It's also, you really don't want an Ashe arrow coming back at you, which can often happen when you're playing against the Mel.
I think you also don't want
sense.
a Encore coming back at you or a True Shot Barrage coming back at you. So there is still a lot of value for that rebuttal.
That freaking Mel champion couldn't reflect all these spells.
Yeah, exactly. As Morgan going to be taking the Blacksmith towards the top side of the map. This has been his go-to counter matchup for the Rumble. We found a lot more counter matchups. In fact, one of his old favorites, the Yorick, does work into the Rumble as well, but goes back to this one and will be able to augment the rest of his team. And
even though Morgan just totally bodied Canna, and you're like, hey, put Morgan back on a carry. Morgan actually was doing really well for tanks for TL. This was something that they really indexed highly into in playoffs. And having that Ornn ultimate to go along with this is going to be great engage to try and attack the Seraphine.
And it makes me a little nervous because Morgan also bodied Doran in this matchup only a couple of days ago. So I do think he's been absolutely spectacular. And I think it's been super interesting because I know Morgan didn't do as well domestically as people were hoping. But this tournament, he's been a force to be reckoned with. He's been absolutely incredible.
He's come back home, he's got the good kimchi, and he's feeling fantastic. That's what I would assume. That being said, LA is pretty good for kimchi.
You
guys aren't doing too bad. You aren't doing too bad over there. But the Neferi going to be taken away. I imagine Pike is just going to be banned, but it doesn't really feel like a CoreJJ champion to me. But it will be the Yeon hitting the deck first.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what they go with this time around, because now you're seeing the Ezreal, right? So it's a little bit less powerful to do the full-on kill lane that would want to take advantage of like Ashe with no mobility. So I definitely agree with you as far as Pike also not really being one of Core's go-to champions. So see what they opt to change to.
Yeah, on the opposite side, though, it does look like they're trying to set up for the Azir for kyeahoo. This has been something he's been very comfortable on, even though the rest of the globe was kind of fallen to the wayside on the Azir pick. This was still a massive one for KC, and with the Yeon ban, I imagine that's what they're looking at again here, trying to just limit the answers that QUID can have into that pick.
Well, it is just a lot of comfort for KC so far, as we do see the Syndra taken away and then the Rek'Sai to follow. I've heard so many whispers of this Rek'Sai jungle that's going to be coming out, but not going to be happening today.
Dude, I swear that nerf to the E that was very strong. So,
it was.
So we'll see if it does end up.
All right. That's another way of playing the bottom lane, if that is indeed where it's going.
This is much more CoreJJ. You're like, the Pike kill, that's quite so much. He freaking loves the Pantheon, though. So gives that point and click, and they're still going to have huge kill pressure, huge burst potential. Plus, I mean, honestly, we'll see if this bug actually gets locked in. But
yeah, it is the Yike specialty. It's his pocket pick and he's brought it a couple of times. Maybe not the area to bring it out, we'll have to see is they're just going to lock in the Anivia in mid lane instead.
This is a very slow-moving composition so far, as Busio, without the ability to hover the Vayne, goes for the Space Vayne once again. But we'll see what he is going to be locking in. We're looking for a jungler, unless Rumble wants to go back there, but it's been quite a few years since the Rumble jungle's been a thing. Yeah,
the Anivia is an odd one for me, because usually we see it into the Rise, because it's like, oh, I want something with a lot of short range, and then I can try and play through that. But you have like an Ornn that can break through the wall, you've got long range engage, you've got Mel who's able to play outside of the range of that wall as well. So I don't know how much value you're really going to get from the Anivia in this one, but at least with the...
Build another wall.
I was going to say, yeah.
So he can't break all of them.
Yeah, and I was going to say you got the hot pot combo now that's slightly frozen alongside it, so I don't know what we're calling this one, but at least you do have that lockdown.
Naengmyeon is like
cold
noodles. Okay, that's Yasuo.
So I was going to say, yeah, when they banned the Yone, you're like, oh, let's take away more AD options from QUID because they're running the Mel bottom.
They didn't know he had a brother.
He can just go with the original brother. Back to the Yasuo. Yasuo into Anivia.
And Yasuo into Seraphine sounds incredible, personally.
I mean, the wind wall is going to get, some good value, for sure.
I just don't know whether it's actually going to quite work against the Anivia that's very, very good at controlling space, right?
Yeah, that's my biggest worry for the Yasuo in lane is like, yes, you've got the wind wall to try and block the stun from the Flash Frost.
Wait for the last second swap and Morgan plays the Yasuo again. That doesn't sound good.
Can you calm down a little bit?
I don't know. I watched game one, man. I don't know what to expect.
But also for Busio, how the hell do you get any value out of this Seraphine ult? Like, it's either wind walled or it's reflected. Like, you just never get value from it at any point in time.
Well, you get the cooldown of both wind wall and rebuttal, whose cooldowns are exceptionally long. So that's all I'm getting.
Yeah.
That's what I got for you there, Dagda, and that's it. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are your drafts. Once again, I mean, a bit crazy. But this time I feel like TL has decided to go a little bit further off the deep end than KC has. It feels like KC going back to their roots, back to some champions that they have a lot of confidence on. As let's get on to the Rift for game number 2 of this best of 5 and see whether KC can even up the series. All right, gentlemen. Let's see. No weird starts at the beginning of this one so far. Jose and Yike just going to be spotting each other out. Yeahoo just over to support as well. And not going to be too much funny business as QUID just getting some vision down. Counter vision already there. And some pretty standard starts.
Okay, Yasuo into the Deathfire Touch Anivia. Let's see it, QUID. They do have a lot of knockups to be able to set him up as well with the Ornn, with the Lee Sin.
Yep.
And Jose has been very active when he has had that Lee Sin.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Vendetta is Riftbound's next set. It's arriving July 31st and brings together new champions, iconic rivalries, and beautiful art from across Runeterra. There are some summoner spells in the bottom lane, but I'm going to get back to this. Whether you want to collect or play, Vendetta has something for you. And TL and KC have a lot of fighting each other here in the bottom lane so far in this game. It is going to be KC getting the advantage, though, and it looks like the Ezreal Seraphine is working out quite nicely. Busio is pretty good at this champ, right, Dagda?
Yeah, it's kind of been the go-to domestically. Like, it has been one of his strongest champions. It does mean he's more kind of focused on the lane state, which I think Busio has actually been spectacular at this MSI, at actually moving around the map on things like the Camille and trying to get impact in the early stages. But this is, we want to fully invest in winning in the early stages and oftentimes look for invades with Yike afterwards. Maybe less so on the Jarvan, but we'll have to keep an eye out for it.
It's interesting, too, because Jose did the 3-camp recall for Longsword start here for jungle for Lee Sin. So since both junglers are heading down to this bottom side map, if we do have the clash down there at the same time, then he is going to have the extra Longsword for the fight.
Yeah, Morgan looking a bit aggressive here towards the top side of the map, as we can see Canna taking some damage as that Brittle proc does come on through. Focusing on mid lane, though, is Yeahoo does have the egg, of course, so not going to be dying if he loses that health bar, but still not going to be feeling fantastic. And so far, QUID doing pretty well on this Yasuo in the mid lane, 24-18, as these minions are going to help even things up for KC.
Yeah, nice early push from him, and he goes to make sure that they're going to be able to get this bottom side Scuttle Crab for Jose. Bottom lane also forced to back off as Yike went for his reset after the full clear, and he wants to head towards top crab, but I mean, QUID can just move back up here as well, and maybe we'll get a cross from Jose to get both.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's looking for. Safeguards his way over, and QUID will be able to help usher him towards that top side of the map as well. Double buffs here for Jose. As the ward does go down, Flag and Drag is good damage onto the Lee Sin so far, but QUID gets the inside track. There's the exhaust onto this Jarvan. The wind wall, fantastic to block everything that Yahoo wants to do. Yike going to go down. That's first blood over to QUID as Canna's looking to move his way in. The tiny wall is going to work out, but there's a sonic wave out of Jose. And now QUID is trying to get back to Morgan, who gets the knock up, but down goes the mid laner. And now Jose comes over to make this a one fight for TL.
Huge skirmish here from Team Liquid. They know they have the extra power from the early Yasuo here in the lane. And if that Scuttle Crab had actually been walking down towards the fight, then QUID, he was trying to flash up so he could try and E away on the Scuttle Crab. He ends up going down, but still the 2-for-1 there and the first blood.
And it looked like miscommunication from KC as well. Canna had push on top side, and it started to move, but then went back to lane. So looked like Yike was trying to call both solo laners into the equation, but with Canna being late, TL ended up taking the fight.
Yeah, Canna does manage to pick up a kill in the fight, so that will help him out in his matchup against Morgan. That is the only part of the good news here, as Yahoo is still in a little bit of trouble. Teleports back to lane, though, gets that health bar filled up once again, and I'm pretty sure still has the egg after everything was said and done. As CoreJJ spots Busio and Yike moving on in, and will be able to back himself out of the way of the enemy jungle.
Yeah, let's take another look. So Jose is very well aware that he could be in this bush, so they're kind of flirting around with it. And then QUID comes over, early exhaust, as you pointed out. And then they can follow nicely. Jose hit his Q, so he could follow Yike very quickly. As you're mentioning, you know, the distance between the top laners actually get the kill so quickly. That's a slight early arrival here.
Yeah, and that's why I was surprised, because Canna had already walked down. He warded the Pixel Brush and then went back up into lane as Yike went for the Flag and Drag. So looked like Yike maybe thinking, oh, Canna's already moving. I can start this play. He'll arrive in time.
He indeed. Exhaust from my mid laner.
Yeah, QUID having a pretty good time. It's okay. Yike now moving in towards his bottom side. Jose moving over as well. Really good position defensively here for Jose. Just making sure that he is shadowing where Yike wants to be on this map. Is Yeon down to about 50%, but I don't think they're going to be dying anytime soon. But some control here for KC so far.
Yeah, Team Liquid, their bottom lane, though, just trying to avoid poke right now while they get the objective. They know Jose and QUID have got this under control. And, I mean, Lee Sin is good into Jarvan. It's just that I think the Jarvan pick was just for comp all.
Yeah.
And so in the little skirmish, though, you don't get to use, you know, your ultimates and your synergies for your comp or anything. And Jose really, really coming up big there.
And it also means he's accelerated when it comes towards levels, right? Level 6 now for himself. He can try and look
really
for
nice X-Flash here as they're looking for a potential all-in, but CoreJJ taking a lot of damage. Busio is burning. Core knows that he's dead. The flash away is perfect, though. Busio keeps himself alive, and that is the kill going over to KC.
Kill goes over. Busio had to invest the flash in the end, but still, here's the invade we were talking about.
Well, Yike is just going to back away. Knows exactly what's going on here, as the blue buff is just going to be held onto here by Jose. And Morgan getting a positional advantage as well means that Yahoo moving over is not going to be enough to get KC control back. So that will be buff stolen. And Jose should just be able to walk his way out of there as well. Smited down, and they will take that one away. So good advantage here from TL, but the gold entirely even between the two squads.
Pantheon's coming here too. CoreJJ kind of sneaking around into the side brush.
All right, possible angle here is another Hex Flash from CoreJJ to get that control ward down. KC have just backed away already, though, so no worries just yet.
Yeah, this is just not a good timer for KC because Jose's got half a level lead, which means he has level 6 over the Jarvan. So Lee Sin, huge power differential at the moment, and KC have to give up that area.
Yeah, CoreJJ a little bit behind on levels himself. Only level 4 at the minute. As Busio has hit that level 5, looking for the encore.
Yike still needs this camp for the level 6, though. He's very far behind, so should be able to get it, but you can see how much KC are investing in making sure that Yike can try and farm just his own jungle, let alone trying to get control anywhere else. And as a Jarvan, this is where you want to be at your most impactful. So TL managing to shut down Yike is good, but Caliste and Busio winning out on that bottom side, like that's where the other side of the gold lead is coming from. They've been absolutely destroying Yeon and CoreJJ in this matchup.
And now that they do have access to the level 6s there, for the Mel, for the Ezreal. We'll see if there are some visits from jungles. A lot more burst damage available, but as of right now, it's the mid-jungle for Team Liquid that have dictated a lot of the pace of the game.
Yep, and now the Void Grubs have spawned. Right now we see KC moving up there towards that top side of the map as QUID dashing on over, but kyeahoo is doing a lot more now that he does have access to the Glacial Storm to try and hold this lane in order, and Yike will be able to get the first grub at least. We'll see whether all three will go over to KC.
Yeah, I mean, KC, the Caliste walks all the way over there, so Yeon is getting alone time on the bottom tower, and like this is an Ezreal without teleports, an exhaust Ezreal, so he's going to have to walk all the way back down. They do, get the grubs for their investment, or at least two of them.
Yeah, Jose just going to be able to take this one down. Resonating Strike going to do it. So, I mean, TL getting one grub. I mean, I think KC is still going to be absolutely fine with this as the beat drops. And Jose's still going to go in. There's a flag and drag as Jose thinks that he might have caught Busio out, but he just backs away himself. So really nice secure of the first couple of grubs. TL get at least one back, but is still not the end of the world for KC.
Yeah, but you're still losing this top side. So on the initial invade that TL had, Yike couldn't get that grump because he was afraid of TL invading. Now after going for the objective on the top side, loses that camp again. So overall, Team Liquid have just been keeping Yike down this entire time. You can see a 2-level lead. Yike still will manage to equal at least to 7 when he gets towards this bottom side, but it's still very messy for Yike.
Yeah. Again, I just go back to, I think they really wanted the spicy hot pot. They wanted the Jarvan ult for the rest of their comp, the rest of their champions, but Jose here on the Lee Sin has opened up just such a massive individual lead. Bottom side, though, 2v1.
Yeah, Yeon taking a little bit of damage here, but does just walk his way out. He will be fine, at least for the minute. Has his Hextech cookie at the ready. I think they spotted Yike moving in as there's the rebuttal. And that will be able to at least help him speed up, move out of the way alongside the flash.
And I think this is the one part of the map that KC can try and play around is the bot lane. Like already they've got a nice lead opening up for themselves. This will only grow now as well. And the fact that the flash is gone and Yeon now means that they should be able to try and punish that again, if especially you're getting Team Liquid trying to play through this strong topside for invades.
Yeah, 100% agree right there. Ezreal here for Caliste looking quite good. Yeah. Definitely one of his favorite, most comfortable champions. And as you said, with Busio having so much success too, definitely will be a very powerful team fight when they bring those two in.
Yep, it's going to be the lane to play around, I think, for KC. And this composition is pretty stable. I think stable is the right word to talk about this, as in the meantime, KC now just going to be playing real far back from this outer turret that you can see Yike is hovering, as well as kyeahoo moving down towards this bottom lane as well, but does have to go back as the waves are going to be crashing in mid. And the Dragon going to be started up here. TL have double Dragon on the table.
But again, it does slow down Yike. He wanted to go into this top side to try and clear this top camps at its spawn, but instead was pulled down to cover for that play. So Team Liquid going to be able to take Dragon and then sweep through their own jungle up towards top side. So again, it's just value for the jungler, Josedeodo.
Exactly. And Jose is wielding an Eclipse right now. So Yike being on little pieces,
yeah,
you have no business going over there. That's why I'm so focused on jungle.
And it's like the best dueling item to pick up first as well, for like that one item spike. You're feeling fantastic.
I was told earlier it was a full moon, so I don't know what an eclipse is doing here at all. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't understand that part.
We're
gonna
have to consult the analysts on that one.
Yeah, they'll need to fill us in on what exactly that meant. I'm going to need an explainer because that was weird to say the least. Okay, Yike going to be starting up this Krug camp. And that is going to be the last one. We'll see where he's going to be going next. True Shot Barrage going to be sent back towards Caliste. He doesn't want it, and so it is just going to be sailing around Runeterra once again. kyeahoo back in this mid lane, and I do feel like KC, this composition is just very happy to play this one slow. The slower this game goes, the better it is for the EU representative. And so right now, TL, I think the ball is in their court to get this one moving faster, and with an Infernal Soul this game, that is really going to help if they can keep stacking these Drakes.
Yeah, I think Team Liquid would really like to try and open up one of these side lane towers because their 1-4 is pretty oppressive. Like, once QUID gets a couple of items, it's going to be really difficult to keep him in check because Busio.
Yeah, going to get jumped on here by Josedeodo. There is CoreJJ from the sky, and where did Busio go?
He thought he was the one hiding here on the wall. He thought he was, the one laying the trap.
Yeah, well, he was definitely hiding, but then they found him.
Yeah. Pantheon
right.
ultimate right over the top there instantly.
Beautifully played by CoreJJ, though. He has been phenomenal this tournament and did not hesitate for 1 second on that man drop. Okay, Canna looking for some harpoons, but does just get himself back over, and Jose's going to follow him. There is the ram coming through from Morgan as well. They are on the equalizer, but there's the knock-up, and down goes the rumble. And TL, they must have been listening to the broadcast, because we said they needed to keep going fast. Yike comes in to try and save the play, as the encore is extended by Yike, and they should be able to get Morgan for it. Really nicely done to get one back for KC.
Thank God we did, because that was about to be Team Liquid running away with a very big lead. They've been everywhere, but Busio's not safe.
Hold on. Hold on.
Jose doesn't have ult, though, so... It's,
he was just being annoying.
Yeah, it's going to be stops on backs. He can't kill him again quite yet. Don't worry.
But yeah, this has been Team Liquid playing so well around this early jungle lead for Josedeodo and making sure they're just getting in the face, abusing the matchup, and making sure that KC don't really get to play it, although kyeahoo...
He is looking a whole lot better here, is right on the edge of that stun as the exhaust has to come through here to avoid that frostbite from just killing this Yasuo. Okay, KC now should be able to move down, and 2.5 minutes on the Drake, so not really
Jose's there first, though. Jose's going to be here first, and he is 4 seconds away from his ult. 3, 2.
Q is going to miss as he looks for the safeguard. There's the mini stun, gets the knock up, so they pull the bird into the sky, take him down to the egg. The rest of KC trying to get over here. There's the double knockup from QUID, and QUID should be going down, but they get the bird first, as QUID is then going to be executed. Busio over the wall, and I think it's just a 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1-for-1, plus you count like maybe the passive egg.
Oh yeah, 1.5 for 1.
Maybe 1.2 or something like that. But yeah, they do get that, and then investing the extra teleport. So they drew out the teleport from Canna here. KC using the extra summoner spell to get here in time and defend him.
Yeah, and Jose plays this well. Gets the kick into the wall that sets up for QUID to be able to join. And even as this starts to play out, watch the knock-up coming through from QUID, because Yike tries to go for the flag and drag, but it gets interrupted there perfectly by QUID. And even though he does end up falling down, that really buys enough space to, 1, get the kill, 2, get the flash from Busio, and then able to back away.
Exactly. The extra summoner spells there invested by KC during the skirmish. We'll see about the next dragon. It's only 1 minute and 20 seconds away, and you know Team Liquid are going to set up again.
Yeah, and I think this is where KC really need to turn this game around. On that next dragon fight, if they deny that, it slows down TL so considerably. Adds an extra 10 minutes to a potential soul timer and gives you that extra space in order to get this composition online, as they are on this Rift Herald already.
I wonder here for TL, because Core does have his ulti, and Jose is here on 2 items, okay? This is Sundered Sky and Eclipse.
Yeah, and you mentioned CoreJJ's ulti. Well, he is now going to be over a wall as kyeahoo over to the side, not going to get picked up by that tornado, as now Core realizing that he's in a lot of trouble, has to try and commit to this one. It is Rift Herald secured, and they'll trade that for their Pantheon, as Morgan, a little bit late to this party, but sometimes it's better late than never, although maybe not this time. As TL just trying to get back towards their mid lane, as Morgan just says, get out of the way, wall, and he is going to be able to at least headbutt that one down. Now the Ram's coming in, and maybe late is actually better than never, as they're in the Cataclysm, but Yike is no longer there. He's been taken out first, as Jose just trying to safeguard around the fight. kyeahoo getting whatever he can done, as Canna with the Flame Spitter. QUID kept alive by the safeguard. Why are they allowed to get out of this one? QUID will be taken out, as Jose, I mean, he's so much money if they can get that kill, but they're unable to do so, but still KC getting some big kills back.
KC just about managed to turn it around, the 1-for-2, but kyeahoo still here with CoreJJ. Will just back away. Big win, even though they do lose the Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's all kind of domino effect from CoreJJ's ultimate, and him going down early, putting TL at a numbers disadvantage. KC, they really do make them pay for it, getting the extra kills here, the extra money back. They can push topside. The only drawback for KC is that Yike did go down, so they couldn't like rush over to Dragon, but also, he is back up now.
Canna stuck around so long on that top side. It does mean that Team Liquid kind of in a position now to contest this, because Morgan already coming out with QUID. I don't know if they do this quite fast, and maybe they do.
I mean, Jose is going to be able to put down the Rift Herald to try and help out. Could be a bit of a Battle Herald situation here as they get the knock-up onto kyeahoo. He's over his own wall, and it's actually not working out for him. And now the Rift Herald is going to invade the Dragon Pit. Yike has to get out of there. True Shot Barrage is not going to do anything at all. That's his teammate, as now kyeahoo tries to get out, gets stabbed by CoreJJ, and that is going to be soul point over to TL.
Oh, the party continues, Atlus.
This series is weird, boys. I don't know what to do.
You're right about the timing on the contest, though. Exactly. They get back and they put down. Rift Herald gets used so that they can go for this play, combo onto the Anivia, and then the DPS wasn't there on Dragon, so they're allowed to continue, drive the Herald in. and Team Liquid retake control immediately.
And now is Shelly going to get a double charge? So she invades the Dragon Pit, charges the bottom turret, and then gets another one on the inner. That is the most overworked Shelly I've seen in my career.
Or a great holiday package deal that she's managed to get on that one. The scenic route
a lot of travel. Yeah.
Well, she was like, well, CoreJJ died for me, so, you know, I'm really going to make you guys feel
I'm
worth
more
it.
of a resort tourist. You know, I like to go to one place and have a good time. This was definitely a lot more moving around that I was ready for. But Shelly might like it.
Yeah, but here you can see, like, KC just don't really have the damage. Canna's super late because he went to push in topside. And kyeahoo walks up way too far. Jose with a great call there to just kick him again, set up for QUID. Now, he does a good job escaping, but you've now got the rest of Team Liquid that can just get into the pit, push KC away, and it's just an easy dragon setup with kyeahoo eventually getting caught.
And it's this kind of chaos that this TL composition thrives in as well. And they are able to create it at a moment's notice based on CoreJJ just falling on people from the sky.
But it also feels like a very different form from KC that we saw domestically. Like, team fights were their bread and butter as Yike now.
Yeah, QUID in a little bit of trouble in the side lane, but now Core is coming from the sky yet again. He does get charmed up, and now Jose making his way in. It's Canna that turns up, though. There's the ulti from QUID, gets out of the equalizer and takes down Yike. These shields are working out so beautifully, but they take out the Yasuo in immediate trade, and then CoreJJ taxis his way to kyeahoo and keeps himself alive. What the hell? Core's playing the best series of his life.
So is Jose, baby. I mean, honestly, nah, it's just a regular Lee Sin game from my boy.
Yeah, exactly right. He's going to find Busio here. And CoreJJ won Worlds in 2017. That was a pretty good series as well. But I like recent memory, my God, he's playing so well.
I don't know. I'm not
a fan. I'm not a fan. Not at all. Yeah.
Hey. We're setting up for the reverse sweep. It's okay. As this looked really good for KC to start things off. Catching Yasuo's in side lanes, it's a tale as old as time.
I mean, this TL, they have really been thriving in these skirmishes, especially with all the mobility here. Jose and QUID keep comboing for these knockups, so they're able to get enough damage done. And Jose is so far ahead, he's king on the Rift. CoreJJ, as you're saying, he's still able to like flash and it's done.
He was on 20 health like the whole team fight.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just the fact that Team Liquid, again, are in such a good position to rotate towards these plays. They have the TP, they had that push in mid, and they just can't keep up. Oh my God, that is horrific.
That is so cursed. I love it.
Jungle diff, boys?
I would say so. I think he's pretty legendary. And I mean, Jose is as a ladder player in general. But yeah, he's 8-0-3. This Lee Sin is just a monster.
But it does, again, I was kind of starting it before we got the pick, was that it doesn't feel like the KC, really. But yeah, I mean, this is not the style that I'd be looking at.
Yeah, and the Coinbase gold grind, not something that Dagda wants to talk about, but Jose very, very far ahead, 3.6K. And yeah, it's basically, if you're going to look at where the money's coming in from, let's just go with everywhere. Yike now in a lot of trouble as they've really been able to hold him down this game. Out of turret, now being sieged down, and they haven't done a whole lot of work as far as opening up the map through mid is concerned, and the wave clear is still going to be there in spades here for KC. As CoreJJ moves to number 11 as far as assists, and yeah, I think this is the right time to have a giant CoreJJ on the side of the screen.
Honestly, too, there's not a really huge possibility for the comeback because it's super difficult, as you're mentioning, to work into the Mel Reflect and the Yasuo wall as well. So
it feels like the old
like twist that knife
Yasuo combo.
Yeah. Like, how much more torque can you get in that knife? You know? Yeah.
Well, no, we don't have the Dragon Soul yet, Dagda.
Oh, true shot barrage as Yeon just launches himself towards KC. And, okay, Sonic Wave from the darkness here as Jose is very, very scary, but they think that they might have caught him here as the Ram comes on through. They're looking for Caliste. QUID's going to find him in that backline, but immediately gets exhausted, taken out as Jose gets a kickback onto Yike, but it doesn't really do anything at all. Equalizer now going to come on through as CoreJJ going down lower and lower. The double snap from Yeon is good, but they are out of teammates. Triple knock up from Morgan. He flashes over the wall, and he is still going to die as TL I don't think you're fighting for this, Soul.
It's just because the Ornn ultimate did not hit Caliste there. He didn't get the knock-up for QUID, and I've cursed them! No!
You've taken that knife out and stabbed him in the back, and I'm okay with that. Because KC managing to find that little bit of fight with Caliste, even getting that good flash away from QUID there in the midst of it, setting up for it, and now there's a lot of gold that they can pick up on the map, so this gold lead starting to dwindle for Team Liquid now.
Yeah, and it was only really 2,000 anyway, right? Like, that is not a ridiculous snowball or anything like that. Let's have a look at how this one was attempted to be set up here, as they are so split, TL.
Yeah, so Core actually goes for Busio, but then, yeah, the Ornn ultimate not getting the knock up here towards Caliste means QUID gets deleted. And the Yasuo immediately out of the fight means they're not really going to be able to salvage this for Team Liquid, so then they're just trying to run everybody for themselves at this moment.
Yeah, and there you can see, just even with the lockup, Morgan trying to play frontline for Team Liquid still gets caught out at the end. So it is something back, and a little bit of time ball for KC. And you can still, like, the main focus for KC is Caliste. He's the one with a 2,000 gold lead in that bottom side, 3 items now in the Ezreal. If he is able to play his game, he's in a great spot, and that's why Team Liquid coming into that fight were trying to focus him down, just couldn't make it happen. So we need Caliste once more to kind of step up and try and play just on a knife's edge to keep himself safe, yet take down Team Liquid.
Yeah, needs to not get kicked. That's it's going to be the main thing, and that is precisely what he managed to do in that last fight. We saw how much better that went for him. As Jose looking for a bit of an angle here. Caliste very capable of just clearing out these minion waves over and over, and that outer turret just seems like a thorn in the side of TL, unable to really open up the map. And another 3 minutes until another chance at that Infernal Soul for Team Liquid. And I think it's going to be really important to get themselves on it. 24 minutes. And so the Baron up and available as well. Going to be a difficult objective to go for because, I mean, unless Morgan tanks it up, it's a little bit difficult for both teams to tank that particular objective this early in the game.
Yeah, Morgan's starting to upgrade people's Ornn items as well, hand out the extra value there just in time for these big objectives. And Team Liquid taking the other side of the map right now, wrapping around.
All right.
They do have a Pantheon ultimate ready again, so you have to be careful about overextending inside lanes. Canna rightfully pulls back while the rest of the team is getting Baron vision.
But look at the amount of vision that is there for Team Liquid. The observers just highlighted it. They kind of know exactly where everyone is if they walk through the enemy or their own jungle on KC's side, but being forced away here.
Yep, QUID in range of Jose. That is going to be the main thing here. Anytime he gets that Dragon Rage kick option, as now we've got Morgan making his way in as well. Jose getting himself out. The wall is avoided by TL quite nicely, and Yeon getting some alone time with the turret. That is going to be a big deal, as they desperately want to grab that. Only one plate left remaining here, as Morgan possibly caught out. Does searingly charge his way out, but has to take the red carpet as Canna lays that one down. No flash available here for this Ornn, and he has to try and turn and make something happen. It's just going to be an arcane shift forward. Canna's the one that locks down the kill in the end. That is kill score evened out. TL's gold lead down to 600. This game is anyone's right now.
Yeah, but what more can KC get? You can already see immediately Canna moves down towards the bottom side. They want to try and get some of the standing gold. QUID pushes out top, so there isn't an option for 2 of the turrets, but still, as you say, like, this is getting incredibly close now. Just a small few mistakes from Team Liquid starting to cost them.
Yeah, really good pick right there. Turning on Morgan as he's trying to rotate over to the rest of the team. KC collecting more and more gold, making me more and more nervous. Canna also level 16 here with an arm guard.
He is very scary, making a lot of money as well with that first strike, as we can see, moving to about 1.4K ahead just himself. Obviously, Morgan can have a lot of value just in general, but this Rumble needs money to be effective, and Canna definitely has it at this point in time. Caliste parking himself in this mid lane once again, and it's still just frustrating for TL to get any sort of damage onto that outer turret. Back out onto the map, though, is Morgan.
50 seconds until Dragon, though. You can see they're trying to put kyeahoo in that top side, so then he can hit that level 16, just barely away from us. And if you could get that before this next Dragon, that could be huge for KC, as already you're starting to see them push in mid. They want to set up for vision control around the area.
Yeah, well, that is going to be a nice little rebuttal there from Yeon to avoid a bit of the damage.
CoreJJ and Jose were there. That was a risky arcane shift forward. Did have Yike waiting in the wings, but there is little vision for KC in the Dragon area.
Yeah, teleport in from Morgan. He does not want to risk this. Wants to make sure that he is there for the setup. 15 seconds to go as kyeahoo is going to move in as well. Pretty dark as KC try to get themselves through, as that is going to be the dash cannon forward. Equalizer, fantastic from Canna with limited vision, and now the Cataclysm comes in, but that Encore only onto one. The kickback is there, as Yike is going to be taken out first. CoreJJ just barely surviving, and now he can actually get himself back towards this fight after a reset. The Dragon has now spawned, but I don't think it's going to be at the forefront of anyone's mind just yet with Yike going down.
Incredibly close attempt there from KC. They went for it because they saw QUID on the bottom wave, but they just barely can't finish the kill.
But now they have no jungler, so KC kind of have to hard force this, or it's sold for Team Liquid. They're trying to buy time, but how do you engage? You use so much to try and get CoreJJ.
Yep, still 15 seconds on the Jarvan here as well. And KC, 4 versus 5, they know that they need to try and deny this as Morgan's moving in. Doesn't have the Ornn at the moment, but they realize they're just not going to be able to win, so they have to give up Infernal Soul to TL, and they move back into the driver's seat.
Infernal Soul, more burst damage here to Team Liquid with their combos. I mean, honestly, that was just a slight bit overreach there into the jungle.
Yeah.
They really wanted to take advantage while TL were split. But Jose had some good peel for CoreJJ as well with the kick over into the blue buff pit.
And that's Team Liquid, the MasterCard priceless moment now with that Infernal Soul picked up, which makes things so much more difficult. Yeon's poke gonna be so obnoxious to deal with. And KC kind of have to go back to the drawing board, figure out how they're going to try and play this, because things also went wrong for Team Liquid in that fight, with Morgan not connecting with the ultimate. Like, there was a lot that actually went well for KC, but that's not always going to be the case, especially as you start to teeter into these later levels.
Yep, as now kyeahoo could be in a little bit of trouble. Morgan doesn't quite find the knockups. Yeon going to get attacked by Yike. The equalizer goes down, and that is going to be enough to deal with this Mel. kyeahoo goes golden, though, to keep him alive, but look at these health bars. This Infernal Soul is doing work, as Jose is going to be able to follow Canna out of that one. He's still legendary, but he's not in the fight anymore, as now QUID dashing after Yike will be able to help Morgan grab that kill, and Busio and Caliste find themselves the last men standing.
There's no focus. That was a scramble. Everybody for themselves.
Never mind. kyeahoo gets himself out somehow.
Everybody was fighting their own brawls on different sides of this one.
It was absolute bedlam. I thought Caliste was going to go down, but Josedeodo went the opposite direction. Team Liquid, though, still with the bigger health bars, are going to get this mid lane turn and again get that little bit more off the back of us.
Jeez.
Okay, so we knew it was 11-11 to begin things off. That was only a 1-kill advantage here for TL. Things still exceptionally close. Let's check it out again.
Yeah, because you can see as it all starts off, like, you end up getting the pick on towards Yeon, which is all that KC are focused on here, as they immediately go in with Canna's ultimate as well. The ult from Morgan ends up connecting onto kyeahoo and Canna, which sets up then for QUID to go in. But watch now as this goes through, because Busio hits onto QUID. CoreJJ flashes onto Caliste. Instead, Josedeodo turns onto Canna. So Caliste manages to stay up in the middle of this fight, who then kills CoreJJ. Josedeodo finishes off the low health con on the bottom side, and this is where it starts to get a little bit bedlam. Like as Kobe was saying, there's so many different scraps, there's no real focus, so there's low health bars all over the place.
Everyone just ran in separate directions. Yeah. It was crazy. It was like the beginning of the Hunger Games or something like that. They're all just sprinting out of the house. But in the end, it works out relatively well for TL. And honestly, this is still anyone's game. Even with an Infernal Soul, we've seen a Soul lose. I believe it was TL. So far in MSI. So KC, still some options, especially with a composition like this.
So much of KC's upfront damage, though, is like, hey, we pick one target, burst them down with this hot pot combo. You now have the Seeker's Arm Guard on Yeon. You have GA on Josedeodo. And I don't think you're getting through Morgan quite as easily as you'd expect. So really the targets for this combo are starting to disappear. So I think this is where it starts to get a little difficult now for KC with the comp.
Big thing for me, though, was that Busio did get a really good ultimate. He got the Yasuo at least. You know, I thought it was going to be very hard for him to be able to get a good ultimate off with Wind Walls, with Mel Reflect going around. But they've still been able to find very good effectiveness there.
Yep, good angles. Is now TL looking for an option towards the Baron, or at least wanting to get some vision, as there is a Ornn slingshotting himself towards the top side of the map. He's going to usher that minion wave over as well. Now KC looking for a fight. There's another Cataclysm on to Yeon, taking a lot of damage here. Does manage to go golden as Canna does exactly the same thing. Caliste gets turned on by Jose. There is the knock-up, and QUID is able to take him down. Yeon's still alive somehow as Yike is going to get taken down to the GA, and he should be removed as well as Morgan. Gigantic health bar thanks to that new belt that he just purchased, and it's a double for Jose. My God, this guy's Lee Sin was already famous. It's going to be more famous after this one.
And he deserves it. Okay, they're going to be able to pick up the Baron while we do this replay. But Dagda, it's crazy again. Look, Anivia on your mini-map is walking from base right now. And KC decides to full send. But Morgan is also running to this fight too, trying to get there immediately. And there you see the ultimate through two.
Yeah, and then it's just the follow-up from Team Liquid, right? The wall doesn't quite get the separation, so Morgan's able to follow across. The GA is just jumped on by Team Liquid. And I think this fight, just everything in the kitchen sink used towards Yeon, but we just highlighted like the Seeker's arm guard, able to buy so much time. And if you can't finish off that play, Caliste has to overextend to try and help out Yike. And it's just not it.
Yeah, I just loved watching Dagda while you were taking us through the replay. Dagda's just pointing at the minimap, just sort of losing his mind off to the side.
But
as, who wasn't there?
But the thing is, like, this isn't the KC we saw domestically. Like, they wouldn't like panic engage or overextend. They play slow and play for like clean fights. This hasn't been what we've seen this series at all.
Well, they're going in.
QUID getting a lot of value out of that wind wall here as they look to dive on top of the Yasuo. Gets 3 with the ult. He kills 1 with it. Holds up the other 2 as Yike is traded for the Lee Sin. Gets out of the way of the Encore, but great stopwatch there from kyeahoo. He's still dead. He's still exceptionally dead. Turned into a fried egg in the mid lane. And Canna just has to turn tail and run. 30 seconds on the Elder, and most of KC are dead.
At the end of the day, it's Josedeodo Lee Sin, man. 12-0 Lee Sin.
He's 18 out of 20 kill participation, and over 50% of the kills are his, and he's playing Lee Sin. It's 35 minutes into the game, and TL think that that is a good time to finish this one off. The inhibitor going to go down first. Jose is going to land onto Caliste and take most of his health bar. Oh man, this looks like a solo queue game. Like, I'm used to Lee Sin's doing this much damage, not in pro play.
I love that we keep getting the player cam for Jose because he's just laughing and smiling. Like, he is
best day ever.
Out of all 10 players, he is the one having the most fun for sure. And it's not close.
I mean, I saw Spooks and Spawn. They were also having a pretty good time.
Get jumped on.
True. Okay, so Elder, the great equalizer, guys. Is this
They're in the bush.
We'll see whether it is going to be a good equalizer. I don't think it is because Canna is already dead. TL looking for the turn. Yeon is like, well, I'm just going to kill this dragon. If you guys are going to take down the enemy top laner, you've got this one 4v4 as Yeon is going to, CoreJJ dives forward. They take down kyeahoo. The Ram is more of a celebration here from Lord Morgan as KC will just be escorted back to their base. And now TL, they have a big old buff to work with as they look to just march their way into this mid lane.
Josedeodo is 2 kills away from the most kills ever in an MSI game, so he can get Caliste and Busio.
I see 3 kills right there.
4 junglers, I'm pretty sure, because I think that number might be higher if we include 80 carries in the equation. But now we've got these Nexus turrets under fire. QUID looking for an angle towards Yike as he is so close to execution threshold. CoreJJ wanting to try and take them down as Jose is in that base just trying to get a few extra kills. And Yeon, got the rebuttal to make sure they can do nothing about this as TL moving to match point over KC here at the MSI play-ins.
Josedeodo Lee Sin. Honestly, he also saved me. I think they would have taken me to prison if they lost that part after I had said that. So thank you, Jose. But wow, these fights are also just so chaotic, such a scramble.
Look at these TL players, by the way. Like, the vibes could not be better as they walk off stage. This is going to be a tough one for KC to turn around from. And now we can talk to the gentleman over there on the desk about how this one's going. Dracos, you okay?
No, enough of that. Join me. Jose.